Hello, Adam Booth here, Upshift Online. This bike before me is all mine. It's a 2002 YZ250F. It was given to me for free. Somebody felt sorry for me. Why? Because when you're not a magazine guy anymore, nothing comes for free. Nobody cares who you are. I was living the life of free bikes, free gear, travel, and then I got a real person job and all that went away. So a friend of mine who was very giving had an old piece of crap in his garage, this bike. He gave it to me with the title and he said, please fix this up, please get a bike, stop complaining and come ride with us. And it hit home. I was like, yep, you know what, it doesn't matter what bike I have. I just need to go see my buddies and go ride. Half of riding is hanging out with your friends anyway. So I told myself, maybe $1,000 I'll tear into this Beat 250F motocross bike and turn it into something that kind of resembles a WR250 and see what I can make of it. To start off with any off-road bike, you got to ditch the 19-inch rear wheel, get an 18. I ordered a Tusk rim and spoke set, laced that up myself. eBay, found a front wheel, black to match my black rear wheel. 125 bucks, front wheel, awesome. I sold the other wheel for like 25 bucks on Craigslist, had a dent on it or something. Then the next most important thing was the Shinko tires. Big fatty 18-inch rear, it's a cheater, it's a gummy compound, so it really hooks up. This bike doesn't have a ton of power, so it doesn't rip the knobs off the soft compound. Up front is a Shinko 216, and it's a 90 by 100, so it's fatter, gives me a little more contact with the ground. So those are the wheels that start to set off the bike looking better. The engine had a lot of hours on it. Luckily, transmission was good, and the previous owner had installed a Recluse auto clutch, so we left that alone. That was still good. The cylinder and the piston were pretty worn. Luckily, when I tore it apart, the cylinder was still decent. So I just ordered a Vertex piston and rings, cosmetic gaskets, and just put the top end back together. Valves were still good, kicked over first start. So really, the engine only needed a few $100 to be freshened up and ready to go again. A bike like this with a lot of hours, you don't want to put a big bore kit on or try to do anything fancy. You're just gonna tear up the bottom end. So next was suspension, 5312, just freshened it up. 2002 motocross suspension, it wasn't crazy stiff. I just wanted something for off-road. So now that I had the wheels, the engine, suspension looking good, I actually just stuck with the old plastic. I didn't even buy new plastic. I just tore his stickers off. You see the photos, this thing was hammered. The FMF pipe's half torn off. I just kind of fixed that up. I mean, this was straight up budget. I didn't want to spend any money. I just wanted to buy the necessities, tires, suspension, engine, cosmetics. I don't care, it's gonna get tossed off a hill. It's not a big deal. The other thing, I had to get some throttle cables from All Balls. All Balls also got me bearings for the front wheel. When I ordered it on eBay, they were shot. So the next step in any off-road bike is some handguards. I got full wraparounds. Part of my goal with this bike was just to go out and hammer it. If I had some friends who wanted to learn to ride or need to borrow a bike for the weekend, I literally don't care. I'll just let them take it, full wraps, they drop it, crash it. These are Thugs handguards, they're full wraparounds. I think Thugs is an acronym for the Handguard Ultimate Guards or the Hands Ultimate Guards. There's a whole acronyms, whatever. So those are pretty burly, they're sweet, they bolt up nicely. This beauty on the front, don't let this fool you, there's a set of wires. They don't go to anything. But on my goal of making a cool off-road looking bike, because off-road's what I like, I went ahead and just used the bungee cord attachments, kind of bolted up my own little brackets and stuck an old nice, actually this is an awesome light, but it was on a YZ250F I had when I was racing that bike. So my garage still has a lot of old parts from my magazine days. Kind of like this little cool fender extension that does nothing with the taillight on it that literally I cut the cables to. It doesn't work, it doesn't do anything, but from a distance, it kind of looks like a WR. We're still under the $1,000 for my bike with a green sticker and a title and the chance to go riding with my buddies. Last but not least, I'm sure I'm forgetting a few things. This is a very limited edition Upshift graphics kit. There's no two alike. This required, I think, 37 to 38 stickers carefully placed. They're not really selling this right now, but maybe if you email them, they'll make you a custom one for your piece of crap 2002 YZ250F. The downfall, and just because I didn't want to spend much more money, I left a stock tank on this. I carry a little bit of gas if I'm going really far on this. Hindsight's 2020. I mean, it would have been bitching to have a WR because this is basically a WR minus the electric start. And that's all fine and dandy until you're out for 4 or 5 hours with your friends actually riding off-road and you're the guy kicking the out of it all the time. So luckily though, my giving friend who gave me this bike at some point had put the decompression cam in the 2002. Because I don't know if any of you guys are old enough or care, or this is ancient history, almost 20 years ago, but you used to have this little lever up on the bars for these YZ250Fs, and you kind of had to time it, decompression, then kick through. But now it's got the other cam in it. It just, you have to find top dead center and kick it. It has a carburetor. And if you don't drain the gas all the time, you're gonna get clogged pilot jets. And I've relearned that again recently. Like any carbureted bike, it's not perfect. These are still fun to ride. The idea behind this bike wasn't to go out and win any races or obviously win any style award, but it was to go out and have some fun with my friends. Yeah, it's got its quirks, yeah, it kickstarts, it's got a carburetor, it's not as cool, but I think I'm $1,000 into this. I had a few random parts still in my garage. The pipe is still smashed. The foot brake I had to rebend straight because it was hanging off. I think the shifter was still barely hanging on. Oh, the only thing that makes a bike really cool off-road worthy is the kickstand. Now this thing is Pro Moto billet. It is the coolest thing you can buy for a dirt bike if you're riding off-road. Like this, how else would this thing stand if I didn't have a cool kickstand? It would literally fall over and my friends would laugh at me. And I'd be kickstarting it to get riding again. So the kickstand was one of the key things. 18-inch wheel, gummy tires, heavy duty tubes to lower the pressure, and Reckless Auto. Basically, this bike's all about fun. I know it doesn't look good. Nobody has to really love my work in a graphics kit, but let this be a lesson. I'm going riding for $1,000 with my buddies on the weekends until I can either convince someone to sell me a bike for cheap. But right now, as a normal working guy in the normal world, $11,000, $9,000 for a dirt bike is just not in my budget. And the days of magazine freebie train are long gone. So I don't know if this entices you or inspires you to go get a kind of a roached out bike and put a little elbow grease into it. I would try to find a bike that maybe you can find a cool graphics kit for, because this obviously is not so cool. Oh, this was $11 seat cover on eBay. I scoured eBay for like 30 minutes being such a cheap bastard that I wouldn't spend 25 bucks on a name brand seat cover. And I found this thing that like shipped from China or something. It took like 3 weeks to get here, but it was $11. It hasn't torn off yet, but that's still to be seen. So again, Adam Booth, Upshift Online, crazy budget build. Have fun riding.